This is Shane. Nice to talk to you, and hello from Berlin. And thanks for coming. I think today is very exciting that we had like 2 days long Polkadot Decoded event. Participated some, and our team members are also there. So in this 45 minutes, I'm going to share you a lot of exciting developments that we do with Polkadot, and also what we are going to do next. So yeah, welcome. So let me go to the slides here. So I'm Shane, so I'm CEO of MXC Foundation. So we are a team here based in Berlin. Like from 4 years ago, we launched our project to build the Web3 infrastructure. So, but recently we have the layer 1, it's called DataHighway. So right now it's officially a Kusama Parachain, just this week, just starting from this week. It is online, it's producing the blocks. So the tokens are also already in gate.io. So it's already in the exchanges, and we have been doing the standalone chain transition to the Kusama Parachain for quite a long time. So DataHighway, as suggested by its name, so it's to empower every person and every organization to build their own metaverse. So we are not going to build the metaverse based on JPEG or 3D models. We are going to build something real that connecting every piece of the sensor, every piece of the hardware devices, every piece of the real world asset to the metaverse. So this is what we do. And based on this, we have another layer 2 project called MXC. So MXC is connecting and engaging the world with open and free Web3 protocols. So we see that the DataHighway is a layer 1, is serves at the marketplace and the data transaction place for every piece of data. But we need a layer 2 for scaling, because as you guys know that in smart city and also in IoT, it's not possible that every piece of this kind of hardware can be connected to blockchain. So blockchain is not scalable in this kind of sense to connect every like sensor or any this kind of hardware devices. So that's why we build this layer 2, is to connect and to authenticate and to track and to provision any kind of this kind of hardware. So right now this MXC is something built on the Ethereum. And since DataHighway just got online, thanks to the Kusama development and XCM development, as you guys know from yesterday's Gavin's speech, Polkadot is only online for 1 month, right? So you guys heard Polkadot from 2017, but it just went online last month because a lot of things need to build in the last 6 years. So we just waited for everything to be built to come true, and then DataHighway, boom, here it is. So the layer 1 is here, called the DataHighway, it's Kusama Parachain, and right now MXC is on the Ethereum, it's ERC20, but it will move to Kusama Parachain later on. Yeah, so in MXC, so we built the world's largest Web3 network. So it is something called POP, and we can enable users to create a real world NFTs. We can let them to build the real world tags and to authenticate, to track them. Also, we can bring the CryptoPunks or other this kind of intellectual properties, IPs that's created by crypto artists to the real world by this kind of tags. So our miner is also something that's world's first low power multi-token miner. It can mine multiple cryptocurrencies, and in the future that it can also do this kind of proof of stake thing to mine DOT. Right now it can mine BTC, DHX, MXC, this kind of tokens. It's very, very versatile, and it can do a lot of other things. And by the MXC protocol, this is something that we already verified and authenticated our idea and what we do in Ethereum. So even though Ethereum is it's getting bigger and bigger, it's getting a lot of ecosystem, but at the beginning, we determined that Polkadot structure and the governance and also this kind of raw structure is much more better for teams like us to build something stable and scalable and also flexible. Because one thing is very important right now when we see when MXC team is building this kind of thing on Ethereum, we see that the ERC 721, this kind of NFT standards, is not going able to satisfy the needs for us to build a real world NFT, because that kind of thing is written down and it's hard to alter. But with Kusama, with the Polkadot infrastructure, this is something that's very, very possible. And I'm going to show you why. So as you guys see that our future is something that we have this kind of real world network, and we have the sensors, we have the text, we will be able to transfer any piece of the real world data into the metaverse, into the blockchain, to let the metaverse to have we are the gateway in between. So we are going to get to know what is happening in London, how many gin bottles in Netherlands, and how many bikes there, like in New York, and how many autonomous driving car in San Francisco. So through this kind of Web3 infrastructure build, we will be the gateway between the real world and the metaverse. So this is something that's very, very exciting. I want to share with you guys. A lot of people already building with us. So this is the world's first multi-token miner that can do proof of location. So this is a radio station, right? So this is a radio miner that emits a low power and low bandwidth radio that can prove and can track. And through the proof of location algorithm, we can really identify this kind of thing. It's in London, it's not in Berlin. So all over the world, only 2 companies can do this kind of thing. So first is Apple, right? You know, Apple invented that AirTag using your iOS to forward the data to the cloud and then to determine the AirTag's location. And it's really hard to cheat it, right? So another project is us. So we have this miner all over the world, launched like 2 years ago. Right now, we are already the largest proof of location network all around the world. And through this network, we can prove that this kind of piece of item is in Berlin and it's not in London. And it's really hard to cheat such a lot of miners all around the world. So I'm going to show you guys also exciting, showing you guys exciting coverage map here. One moment. Yeah, so the coverage map is here. As you guys see, MXC mapper. So like here, we're in Berlin, right? So we have around 30,000 online, more than 39,000 offline. So that's through our POP design, but it is literally already a global movement. So MXC is already very big project. As you guys can see in the coin market cap, we are already 100 something rankings, is bigger than a lot of the other Polkadot ecosystem projects. And we have global coverage everywhere in a lot of countries. And as you can see that each this kind of radio station, this miner covers like 40 kilometers. So actually the whole Netherlands and the large part of North America all got covered well by this little piece of the miner. So actually the reason why we are building this, like I said, so it's proof of location. So because this kind of miner and this kind of miner, they are put by different people. So if you want to cheat about the location of my device that's passing through your 2 miners, it's really hard to cheat such a lot of miners all around the world. So each one is covering 40 kilometers. And you can search Twitter and YouTube. A lot of people already showing their the location and how they mount it is fascinating. So I would say this is the largest Web3 movement all around the world, that people are grabbing such a piece of little hardware and try to build a Web3 infrastructure that offers some concrete, real value to the world, is to prove the location in a decentralized, in a consensus way, right? So this is something already very, very amazing, and people keeping building it. I would here. I also see some familiar faces here in the guest list. So I would really thank you for building this kind of network, because what you are building here can create something remarkable like this. So this is the world first NFT tag that we already showed like a month ago when we are presenting to the world. So here is the NFT link. So I will copy paste this link in the chat room. I've already put this NFT link in the chat room. You guys can take a look at it. Through this Web3 infrastructure, this kind of radio station miner network, we are bringing a gin bottle into the metaverse, right? So this is something that we can let the miners to read and write from 40 kilometers away to prove that this gin bottle is in Amsterdam, it's not in Berlin. And the owner is Xin, right? And it's Xin bought it from, let's say, Sam, right? So this is something that we can keep tracking and also keep proving that this is a non-fungible item. So from now on the NFT marketplace, also in the future on Remark, or also on ERC21 compatible EVM NFT marketplace like OpenSea, from now on, people can not only trade JPEGs, but right now people can also trade this kind of real world asset that is authenticated and tracked and proved by this Web3 network. So this is something very, very exciting. If you guys take a look at this link that I sent in the link that I sent in the chat, you will be amazed. Wow! So right now you can bring your Nike shoes, you can bring your Adidas bag, right? You can bring your Gucci bag and any kind of this kind of thing that could be authenticated by our global community network through a proof of location way that proves that this is the original tag and it's here and it's not there, right? It's not fungible and it's fragile. Once you really use and open it, this kind of thing will broken, right? So yeah, this is something that's very, very exciting, and checking the links. So we will see that more brands will use our Web3 radio network to bring this kind of tags, bring their real world assets, like in sports, in fashion industry, to the metaverse, to the Kusama NFT marketplace, and also to the ERC21 marketplace. So this is something that's very, very exciting to share to all the Polkadot fans and Kusama fans, because this is something very, very concrete and has big use cases, and people are willing to pay for the money for that. And this is not, NFT is not JPEG anymore. So it can be a real world asset that you own, right? You own a lot of good real world collectibles, and we can help them to bring to the Kusama. So just check this link, it's very exciting. And also another part of the excitement, I would say that it comes from the bring the CryptoPunks and apes to the real world. So we can also provision this kind of tags to contain your Polkadot NFTs, right? So we all got this kind of NFT airdrop from the Polkadot Decoded. So we can also bring them to the real world by this kind of tags. We can even let them to produce real tags, real tickets, right? So you guys go to take the flights. Some people using PDF, some people just print the tickets, right? Some people got tickets from the counter. So we can also get that kind of tickets to embed with this kind of chips So each this kind of text has a chip inside that can be read and write through 40 kilometers away from this kind of network. And this is something that's very, very exciting, that we can also bring the Polkadot NFT collection airdrop to the tickets. And then you really own that kind of tickets that contains the NFT in that. So by this, we are like being one of the first gateway between the real world and metaverse, and we can produce such a lot of this kind of thing to let everyone to pay for it. So right now we see that the biggest problem of the industry is, so you need to download either like MetaMask or Coinbase or Huobi to buy the crypto, then buy the NFT, right? So I don't see a lot of people will do this. So I would say that in the next few years, people will just buy such a gin bottle, real collection of the gin bottle, and then they own the NFT. And possibly they also earn some cryptos, because they can also, we are seeing that this kind of gin bottle company, this Dutch gin manufacturers, they're also designing something interesting called storage to earn, right? Can you imagine that you're buying this kind of very real gin bottle, and you are also storage to your wine cellar, right? And you are also emitting this kind of valuable data about temperature, humidity, and then you are earning some token out of that. As the gin fans, can be vodka fans, can be gin fans, can be Nike shoes fans, can be any of this kind of real world things. If you store it, put it somewhere, and you can earn some token out of that. So this is something that we can see that our Web3 designs can be first time to stimulate Web2 and the real world economy by bringing this kind of thing to the metaverse. So also, like I said before, so we also have this kind of e-paper thing. So the e-paper beacon that can bring this kind of NFT. So this is NFT. A woman is crying, and also another digital art, this kind of NFT. We can bring them to the real world, and you can also make it like 10,000 pieces of that, right? So there's no limitation about how many copies you can make from the first digital NFTs that you bought, like Crypto Apes and Punks. But we can use our global network to validate and to prove the location of this 10,000 copies of e-paper. So this e-paper are also a copy of your NFT. You already like provision them. So we see that this kind of thing will create a gateway for vast majority, for the people working on the street. So they will pay for the crypto. They will pay for the crypto industry. They will pay for what we have been doing here without creating wallet and without like buying a crypto, right? So this is something that I see very, very exciting, because right now we are also in talk with a lot of sports and fashion industry. They bought a lot of, because their management team or their company also bought some beautiful NFT themselves, and they can also bring this kind of NFT to their products, to their shoes, or to their bottles, or even to their gin bottles, right? So you can bring the crypto Bored Apes NFT to your gin bottle by this kind of tax, right? So then this is something that very, very exciting, that we see we will find a lot of people, a vast majority of the customers, they will pay for what we have been doing here without creating a wallet. So this is something that I could say generally very, very exciting, because still our crypto industry is very niche, right? So we need to find such a good application and good way to let people to own much more products than just simply a crypto, right? Crypto is good, cryptocurrency is good, but the NFT is another approach and another product that people can earn and people can get. So this is what we have been doing here, and yeah, very exciting one. And yeah, so I would say that this is something very exciting, and yeah, just got a confirmation from the team that yeah, right now Remark Remark network has some problem. Maybe a lot of people visit the website, yeah, so it can't sell and can't do anything. So let's see. Yep. So let's see whether people can check this kind of link later on. But yeah, so I would say that in the future, there will be more real world products on the NFT marketplace other than JPEGs, right? So we are building this Web3 network to enable more people to build and to bring to this kind of network. So for those who comes later, so I would like to show you again and how big and how exciting what we are doing here in the map. So there are already like 30,000 online miners all around the world, right? So each one is covering 40 kilometers. So through this kind of network, each gene bottle tag and each like this kind of NFT e-papers can also be authenticated and verified. So actually this is a very exciting journey, and yeah, thanks for everyone who built this kind of thing. And yeah, so I will also post this link here, then you guys can so I think you guys can take a look at this kind of thing later. So let me continue to pitch about. Cool. I'll continue the slides. So I'm almost going to finish. And yeah, so if you have any question or you want to come to the stage to ask me questions, so I will open that opportunity later on. Cool. So so as you guys see, that DataHighway is layer 1, is a Kusama Parachain, already a Kusama Parachain. It's called Technica. So it's already produced the blocks and already on the gate.io. And it's something that we can see the real world NFT tags will be there. And it is something that very exciting, and already showing you guys this gene bottle is already there. And MXC is a layer 2 that's built on top of Ethereum, but in the future will be in the DataHighway Kusama Parachain. So as you see that a lot of people are putting on their rooftops and putting there to authenticate this kind of NFT tags. So again, MXC is the only 2 projects all over the world than Apple that can do the proof of location in a decentralized consensus mechanism to prove this kind of thing. All the other you see like Vodafone or the other competitor crypto projects, they put out some hardware there. They don't have this kind of capacity and the service to prove a location of your NFT. Yeah. So as you can see, that DataHighway will be something very big, will be on the shoes, on wine or food, luxury industries. And most importantly, this kind of NFT is very cheap, it's disposable. So a cost here, just for you guys to take a look at, is less than $1. So this kind of hardware, this kind of cheap tag is very cheap. But then you need to pay the listing fees, right? So in OpenSea, if you want to turn a JPEG into something listed, you need to pay $300. But if you want to just bring a gin bottle or your own shoes to the metaverse and to share it to sell them, then this will be like 50 euros, US dollars. So it's again, it's very cheap, and it's disposable. And we use blockchain to track and do this kind of non-fungible things, right? So right now you see, if you guys in Europe or in the States, you will already find out a lot of wines, they come with the QR code or some like anti-tamper things. But unfortunately, they're all this kind of thing. They're all fungible tokens. Fungible tokens are something like QR code or this kind of anti-tamper thing. They can be easily copy paste, right? So the banknotes, as you guys see, that are also fungible tokens, right? So people can print counterfeit money, right? So the digital money like USDT or BTC or something non-fungible, right? So that's why we use blockchain to keep tracking of the wines and shoes and food and luxury brands, Gucci bag, LV belts, this kind of thing. So they can be NFTs. They are already NFTs, right? So I want to also want to like correct a very wrong understanding about this NFT. NFT is not an art. NFT is never a form of art. No one said that. If you read the ERC 71 standard, it just says that I can make sure this piece of data is non-fungible, right? It doesn't have to be art, right? So we can put the identity of the shoes, we can put the identity of wine and food and luxury bags into that piece of data, right? And then make it non-fungible tokens, right? So they are also NFTs. So it's not, thanks to DataHighway and MXC, I think people will know that NFT is not an art anymore. There will be something that's tangible and functional and something useful, right? So we just need to make sure ERC 71 says this piece of data is non-fungible, it's not changeable, right? So that's the future. I think the NFT will also be like ICO, IEO, IDO, IXO, this kind of thing to evolve, right? So from here and from what we do, it's already evolving from the JPEGs, right? So I would really proud to share you guys. We're building this on the Kusama and also on the Polkadot ecosystem. And also this is the miner. We have a lot of active, like a month ago, it's 2,500, 25,000 active. And multi-token mining, the most important thing is it can provide proof of location. So as you can see that you guys wondering, hey, you guys are doing very well. So MXC is already like almost top 100 token, right? So what you guys are going to plan for the next steps? So I will say that we have 4 very important, interesting milestones to cover. So I want to also announce to you what we're going to do next. So first of all, as you guys, this kind of NFT, NFC marketplace will be available on the Kusama Parachain along with Remark. So already had some talk with Remark's team, and they are also impressed about what we are doing on the NFT because it's evolution. It's just like ICO got evolution from 2015 until now, right? So NFT also need evolution. So this is the evolution that we see happening at this moment. So we will launch this kind of thing on the Kusama marketplace and also launch this kind of e-paper, this kind of beacon to let everyone like you and me, I would like really to have a real tangible, something that they can touch as NFT. So I've already got this Polkadot Decoded NFT tickets. It looks fascinating, and I also got some punks or apes. I want to see them in real world and also want to share with my friends in such a real, tangible, touchable way. So yes, we'll also launch this kind of beacons to let people to make the digital something touchable. So and then also we will also launch some right to earn, or like I said previously, like storage to earn with the sensors, right? The sensors can also be validated, can also be authenticated to the DataHighway, DHX, LPWAN. Then yeah, this is something that I would say very, very exciting, and more exciting projects will come out DHX, because I don't know whether you guys see that there will be something. So on the Kusama Parachain called State Mine, there are already a lot of tokens to be created, right? So we can also let people to create their own tokens on Kusama Parachain, like your wine token or your like a ride token, right? So your bike tokens, this kind of thing could be also very interesting on our ecosystem to bring MXC and DHX to wider public, because like I said, I still believe that in the future, not everyone will download like MetaMask or Coinbase to buy the crypto, but they can buy a gym bottle, they can buy a bike, they can buy a sensor and start to get the crypto and start to enter the metaverse, right? So without having to buy crypto and creating the wallet. So this is something that's very exciting. And after all of this, we see that a lot of valuable assets already on the blockchain, right? So like gym bottle, like Gucci bag, Nike shoes, all of this kind of thing. It's perfect liquidity pool to launch the stable coin, right? Because this is not backed by algorithm, because algorithm stable coins are already a joke now. You see yesterday DAI, so MakerDAO says that, yeah, we are going to buy US Treasury bonds through our algorithm stable coin. So it's not going to be that stable only by playing the financial games, right? But what if we are already letting people to bring their gym bottles, to bring their valuable gym bottles and bring their Nike shoes and the limited Adidas shoes back to the metaverse, and this are the perfect liquidity pools to launch the stable coin that is backed by something real, tangible. Right, so what I can say is only about this. So more details will be disclosed in the next few months and years. So thanks for coming and thanks for watching. And right now I would like to pick up some follow-up questions, and I want to interact with the community. So, well, I see there are a lot of people want to come to the stage. So firstly, I will pick up someone to come to the stage, and then I will answer the questions on the chat. So there's Q&A, right? So there's Q&A. So yes, let's bring Mohammed to the stage right now. Hi, Mo, you're still there? Hello? Hello, Mo? Oh, he might got lost. So I will pick next one is Paul. Maybe to let Paul come here to ask some questions. Cool. So I think I will. Maybe they need some time to respond. Oh, so let me check the chat and try to answer some questions. So link is broken. Really? The link is broken? I can open it and let me try to open this somewhere else. And I'm using my another one. I think it's not broken. Let me just share my screen. Maybe it would be better, right? So no need to share the screen. Chrome tab. Yeah, here. So as you can see that this is world first June 1698 NFT. Right, so it's validated by MXC network and it's on the Kusama blockchain. And it's the NFT fragile tag, and through MXC miners, we can do the proof of location. So this kind of thing, we see that in the future will be more real world assets to come here. So yeah, so this is very exciting. And let me check the next question. So if you guys have any question, we can just answer anytime. So Chocolate says, if you have NFT doesn't mean that you have the same thing of the disconnector. If you have the JPEG, but you don't own the intellectual property of that. This is a very interesting understanding, and I would see that it's a common question that when people see what we're doing here, right? So yes and no. Why? It is because through our design, so we designed in a way that if you want to generate this kind of a gin bottle NFT, you will need to have some MXC as a deposit to that. So why we're doing this is because if I bought this NFT bottle, NFT from you, how I am going to make sure that you will send me this gin bottle, right? This is really hard to if we don't design something like that. So I bought this NFT. Yes, you're right. Doesn't necessarily mean that I will get this gin bottle physically. But what we design in a way that, yes, if you want to issue this NFT, that is something that right now we're building with Remark team. Is like I said, NFT needs to evolve, right? So it's not just JPEG transactions. So through this kind of real world asset transaction, we need to make sure that you're really shipping the products to the end customers, right? I bought this NFT gin bottle. I want this gin bottle. I want you to ship to me, please. And then if you ship to me, your MXC will be released. So that is the way we make sure that you own this NFT and you are really owning this physical gin bottle, right? Otherwise, his tokens will be locked there forever, right? And it's not possible to go. I hope this answers your question. So, I see another one wants to ask questions. So we did it in our company, NFT linked directly to the physical asset. Oh, good. Seeing another guy trying to evolve NFTs, right? So I think what we are doing here is very changing the whole industry like you guys did, because NFT is never a JPEG. We want people to know that it's never a JPEG. Let's don't believe the NFT is JPEG or art anymore. Cool. So, anyway, building NFT possible with today. Yeah. So next question: how much does the product cost? So, like I said, this kind of tag is not something that we produce. Anyone can produce the tag themselves. So this kind of NFT tags, the physical tags are like $1, very cheap. It's just the listing fee, right? So you see, I don't know whether you guys listed any JPEG on OpenSea or not. It costs $300, right? So if you want to sell a JPEG less than $300, you may not consider to do it on the OpenSea. You will come to Remark because the Kusama fees are like $5 or $10, right? So yeah, it's easier. So, but in our DataHighway marketplace will be a little bit expensive because we don't want the people to watch the tradings, right? So the fees also on the Ethereum is high because it's prevent watch tradings. That's good. The high fees doesn't necessarily mean bad things. Cool. So another question. How would you prevent people just sending the tags around and keep the items? And how, in the bottom example, the tag protected from the recovery itself, or it destruct if you take it off? Very, very good question. So I will see that I answered before. How should we keep prevent people from like keeping the tags and sending the tags and keeping the original items, right? So yeah, so we let people to lock MXC inside of that. So, and another interesting question is the tag protect itself. Yes, it's fragile tags. The fragile means that it has special glue and special antenna design. So once you touch it or remove it, it is broken, right? And yes, you can also mistakenly broke this tag yourself. Yes, then you will need to provision a new one and then re-provision to it because the original one still belongs to you. You can just reprovision, right? So it's the same like when we are bringing the crypto apes or punks to the e-paper, to the real world text. So if you lost your first copy, you can just provision next one, because you always own this crypto punks, crypto apes and punks in your MetaMask wallet, right? That doesn't matter. So another comment is air gap proof system and tag tracking based system. Yeah, so basically I think you will know more once you can buy this kind of thing, right? So let's see how it goes. And in our case, so the Vlad is talking about another case. Yeah. So cool. Chocolate had another question again. Is tightly connected to the identity blockchain. Yeah, so each tag has its own identity. That's true. Yeah, so you can share with the DataHighway and MXC. So it can be this kind of identity, can be the gene bottle, also can be something else. Ricardo said that why we not think about data different than the current options today. Very good question. So it's the one sentence is because NFT standard. So ERC-71 is a dead or is a fixed standard. So it can't allow us to bring this kind of gene bottles or proof locations there, and also can't allow us to have one NFT to own another NFT. Right, and then you see that NFT standards on Remark or on the whole Kusama is much more flexible. We can build proof location there, and we can build the real world tags there. We can have the Web3 networks there, and we can also use this kind of thing to build our stable coins, right? Can you imagine that someone like make a DAO in the DICE ecosystem saying that we are going to use ERC-71 to build a stable coin? Sorry. Impossible, right? So that's why you see that we have the DataHighway Parachain. Hope this answers your question. So yeah, Chocolate here again. Chocolate here again. Thanks to your question. Is MXC should always be the same total value. Then locked in stables. Yes. This is, I will explain this in the later. If you follow my Twitter and follow our company white paper page, you will see more detailed design. So it will be very mixed, right? You can put the IoT stable coins there, and also you can put like USDC, USDT there, right? You can put MXC there, right? So then you make sure that this kind of thing is backed. So it's a deposit, it's not backed, it's just deposit. When you drink something, you also pay deposit for this bottle, right? So after you return it, you get your money back, right? So please be sure that we have the solution for that. Okay, PMP, how can I also sell the physical one? No, this is the fragile tag. You can't, and it's not possible for you to sell the physical one. So so you will see more like detailed explanation to solve your concern, but we already solved that. Thank you. Another one is Joshua question, right? So Joshua's question is, so with a deposit, you operating trust-based escrow service was resolutions favors buyer or seller. How would you stop favorite party from scamming? I would say that this kind of system is it's not based on reputation. It's based on the also like proof of stake, right? So if you want to sell the real world gene bottle NFT, the NFT, so you will need to prove you have stake, right? So then this kind of thing, proof of stake is to more protect the buyers. It's also like a Polkadot proof of stake. You see that it protects those investors put the tokens in stake or just provide us to use this parachains. I would say that it's just protect us to use parachains, right? So Thanks for your attention. Please follow our Twitter and our website. You will get to know more about this kind of thing later on. Okay, next one, last one, I would say Ricardo. So we are running out of time right now. So Ricardo says that how fast the NFT marketplace will adapt and use singular remark features, since they're also used to OpenSea and something like that. Oh, Ricardo, thanks for this kind of question. I really like your thinking. So adaptation, evolution is what we will always see in the crypto industry, right? So OpenSea and the ERC 721 is something happened yesterday. We should look into the future. If you want to catch something big, you should take a look at what we do and what the other people do on Kusama Parachain and on the remark or this kind of thing, because this is the future. This is the improvement of the NFT standards. And we are telling people that NFT is not an art anymore, right? It could be anything, right? This is evolution. This is adaptation. This is like ICO evolved to IEO, IDO, IXO, something like that, right? So everything needs a big revolution and evolution, adaptation, right? So how do we push people from OpenSea to here? So I have some solutions. Wait to see that in our DataHighway Kusama Parachain marketplace for our next CryptoPunks or our next Gene Punks. Could be Gene Punks or Gene Apes that make people crazy but really want this bottle, right? So then this kind of thing will make remark, also make Polkadot, make Kusama very famous. But stay tuned, we're working on it, and hopefully this is something that we will have our own Gene Punks and Gene Apes. Then everyone will hype about it and come to Kusama Parachain, Remark, and MXC to make it successful. I firmly believe that this is how IEO or IDO or ICO got evolved. Just need some shiny eye catchers and everything will come, right? So we're working on it. Thanks for your time. Thanks for those who listened this pitch, and yeah, hopefully you can follow our next updates and also our development. So we will tell you that NFT is something big. Thanks everyone.